Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, Ranking Member Takano, for convening this hearing, and thank you to our witnesses for being here today. I appreciate the pursuit of innovative technologies that help deliver world-class health care to our veterans, a goal I think everyone in this room does share. However, I too am deeply concerned that the Trump administration and Secretary Collins are rapidly dismantling the VA workforce, threatening VA's healthcare operations. And I've been listening to veterans back home. I hosted an event with Senator Duckworth and our local VFW and American Legion chapters in my district just this last Sunday. And we also met with the Tri-State Women Warriors Network just yesterday. I listened to veterans sharing stories of friends who have committed suicide, veterans who rely on the VA every day, and asking me about who has been laid off and why. There are questions like those that I cannot answer because those are questions this administration itself can't answer. When the VA itself is headed to a crisis, why are we having a discussion about biotech? Without VA present, this hearing is a missed opportunity to look at VA's capacity, at the staffing and resources needed to deliver care, to improve VA's procurement systems, to modernize VA's physical and software infrastructure. Without the VA witness here, we cannot get answers to the administration's recent actions on crucial VA research. Instead of building on the VA's tradition of innovative research, this administration has set us back by firing researchers and targeting research with quote-unquote trigger words such as female, women, and gender. As Ranking Member Takano noted in his remarks, VA research findings have contributed to not only saved lives, but also greater profits for companies like Philips and Boston Scientific. Innovation is not limited to the Veterans Health Administration. As ranking member of the Technology and Modernization Subcommittee, I'm also deeply concerned that the cuts to the VA Office of Information and Technology staffing and budget will disrupt VA's IT modernization efforts. The VA is still operating with outdated technology to manage its medical equipment inventory. For example, the Automated Engineering Management System Medical Equipment Reporting System, a system built back in the 1980s, is not able to support today's interconnected software-based technology. It seems tone-deaf to engage in conversations about innovative biomedical equipment when the foundations of the VA are crumbling. When the VA is threatening to cut 80,000 of the mission-driven staff who serve veterans each day, when Veterans Crisis Line operators say DOGE has made their job stressful to the point of tears, being forced to do more with less while remaining steadfast in their mission of serving veterans in crisis, when VA clinical trials have been delayed or canceled because the staff who manage them were let go, when VA has canceled hundreds of contracts, including IT and management contracts, among others that will impact cancer care and VA's ability to assess toxic exposure and disability ratings, when President Trump's latest executive order attempts to intimidate federal workers out of their unions and attack collective bargaining rights, including for over 425,000 veterans across the government. To our witnesses here today, I do truly appreciate your work, the work you're doing to improve the care for our veterans, and I wish the VA could have joined you today to be a part of this important discussion. My question is for Mr. DeLullo. Do you know how many non-clinical staff members are required to install, inspect, maintain, and repair your products?
Congresswoman, I appreciate the question, and I actually don't know that. I would be happy to follow up and have a discussion separately.
That would be great.
Both our side and the VA. As I mentioned earlier in a statement, one of the things that we do is we dedicate resources to the VA specifically for adoption and maintenance. And so we look at that in a geographic context. We have people that show up at VA centers and help with that continuing education, but we also help maintain the equipment.
That would be really wonderful, because one of the things I understand the administration has been saying is that these layoffs are not going to, or only are going to be held off in, for folks that are doctors or nurses, but the non-clinical staff are also very critical to making sure that the mission of the VA is complete and conducted for our veterans. So I would very much appreciate that.